Okay, Jay, I will turn it over to you.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining today. I want to open with our thought for today. Each of us is called to be the best we can be. We are not called to mediocrity. Very few of us can rise to embrace our call on our own. It takes commitment, effort, and encouragement to achieve greatness. Let us remember that while we work towards our own success, it is our responsibility to help guide others to their success as well. We can achieve great things when we work together. Let us be thankful for the opportunities we have in Rotary to work together, as well as for the people we meet to inspire us to greatness and whom we inspire. So with that, I would like to see if we have any visiting Rotarians. We may have one. Abdul? Hi. Would you like to unmute yourself and if you could introduce yourself to everyone?
You'll have to take yourself off mute, Abdul.
Okay, hi everyone, I'm Abdul.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. I think I was at your meeting last a month before the corona incident, and I haven't been able to join your meeting ever since.
Great, well, welcome.
Thank you.
Great to have you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. I don't think we have any other guests so far. If they do, as they arrive, we'll recognize them or visiting Rotarians. At this point, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Lisa to do a session on today's topic is either our favorite or our least favorite chore, household chore during lockdown. Lisa?
Yeah. All right. Well, hi, everybody. Welcome. I will begin by telling you that I don't mind doing laundry at all, but vacuuming is something I don't enjoy. So those are my favorite and least favorite household chores. We're going to go in some order here according to the boxes that I see. Dan King, Jay Pennie, and Sandy will be next. So Dan, you want to tell us your most and least favorite chore?
And one thing, folks, so Zoom updated. I'm no longer able to unmute you, so you're going to have to do that on your own.
Yeah, you should hear me now.
Yes, Dan, we can.
So I don't have
hear
a
you
favorite chore. I don't think I've ever had a favorite chore, but I've got a whole list of unfavorite chores. Some of you know that I live in a house that's owned by Widener University, and that means for the last 5 years, somebody has come and done all of the work in this house, inside and outside. And so during this period, most of the employees were sent home, right? People weren't around. And so while we've had somebody come and do the lawn, the yard still needs to be weeded and the edging has to be done. And I hate that kind of stuff. I used to hate it when I had a house. I found I've developed even a greater dislike for it. So I just can't wait for everybody to come back. The maintenance people are back, but they're focusing on campus right now to do the pent up work. I can't wait for them to get back to the house.
All right. Thank you, Dan. Good luck with all that. We'll move on to Jay and then Sandy and then Jason Jones. Jay.
Thank you, Lisa. I just want to make note that I am dressed up today. I have a tie on. And I'm saying this particularly for Dan because he usually shows me up with a suit. So I one-upped him today. Thank you. Actually, my favorite thing is vacuuming. So maybe, Lisa, we can exchange chores here. Probably least favorite is cleaning the bathroom. It's not pleasant, but you have to do it.
Right. Thank you, Jay. Sandy, best and worst household chore.
Well, my favorite thing, as everybody knows, is cooking. So I'm always cooking and giving food out to anybody. My least favorite is just cleaning everything. I hate to clean. So, but I have a thing that every week I do the cleaning, and so I've been keeping up with it. And it is a chore because it's not something that I really like doing, but I am doing it. And I'm happy when I can have the cleaner come back.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Sandy. Thanks, Sandy. Okay, Jason Jones, Kurt, and then Chris Coffer. Jason.
Okay. I don't know if I have a favorite, but my least favorite right now is turned into grocery shopping because to try and avoid the lines at the markets, I've made my Saturday morning mission to get there by 7 o'clock. So that's my Saturday morning thing now.
Early wake up for us for weekend. Yeah. Okay, Jason. Thank you. How about you, Kurt? You'll have to unmute, Kurt. And then Chris Coffer, you'll have to unmute yourself next.
I'm sorry. I thought I did. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
I think I have to go with Sandy as far as just cleaning, like anything, I'd rather do something else besides the cleaning. I think I have an odd favorite though. I think my favorite is shoveling snow.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Thank you, Kurt.
I don't work out very often, and that's a workout for me. And I get great joy when it's done. So that's my favorite. It's odd.
Oh, all right, Kurt. Thank you. Chris Coffer, and then Patricia and Rosanna. Chris, household chores.
My favorite is playing the piano. The least favorite is cleaning, of course. But maybe going back to my farm life, the least favorite was waking up in the morning and seeing that there were 3 feet of snow out there need to be plowed.
That is a workout for sure. Thank you, Chris. Patricia.
So I don't mind doing the laundry or stacking or unstacking the dishwasher. Don't mind that, but yeah, I'm not a big cleaner. I do it when I have to, but.
Thanks, Patricia. We'll do Rosanna, the Kajis, and then Abdul, if you would like to share as well your favorite and least favorite household chore during lockdown. Rosanna.
Hi. Well, my favorite is cooking. I went to my self-storage and I got out a box with all of my mom's old cooking books. And so I have it, me and Louis go through like recipes every day, and we go by, like our favorite foods and try out all these recipes from my mom. So it's nice. It's like a new hobby for me.
All right. Is there anything you don't like to do around the house?
Nah, not that much. I think, Louis, I don't like it that I haven't had such a bad time because Louis is being trained on how to clean the house. So he's the one that doesn't clean the house. I have a good helper.
A helper, yeah. Okay, Akira and Hideko. You'll have to unmute your computer. And then we're looking at
I like to clean up, but I hate to clean up, in a sense.
Okay.
And our house, because of an organization that we have, our house looks like a pig pen, and I like to really clean it up. That would be my real lifetime goal, to live in somehow clean up house, but I cannot do it at the moment. Hopefully, sometime soon, I'll accomplish this dream. You want to say something?
And I have nothing
All right.
to add.
Okay, Hideko, thank you. Nice to see you both. Abdul, would you like to share?
Yeah, I think my favorite is cleaning, just washing dishes. And my least favorite is cooking. It takes so much time. And I don't like it.
Okay, Abdul, thank you. Kelly is next, and then the Vittoris, then Alex Snayman. Kelly.
Hey, hi, everybody. I absolutely detest food shopping anyway, so I really hate it now. And I have not ordered my own groceries online. So I, like Jason, have been strategic about when I go, and I'm waiting out with my cart every Friday, kind of towards the end of the workday. The best I can do. There are long lines, and it's been raining every Friday, it seems, except for the past couple. Anyway, to add insult to injury. But I feel lucky nonetheless. I guess I do not hate potting plants in my little back area. I don't know. I don't know what to say about favorite chore. I decided to make an urban garden behind my 800 square foot house. So there's,
Nice.
I've repainted the wooden fence, and I put hanging pot plant holders up, and I put plants in, so I weed them, or whatever you call it, deadhead them. That's kind of nice. It gets me outside. So thank you.
Does sound nice. We'd like to see photos, Kelly. That really
Thank you.
sounds great. Joan and Joe, who wants to go first? After you unmute.
I'm not sure everyone knows that to celebrate the onset of the pandemic, Joan broke her ankle. So we had a simultaneous incapacitated female in our house for all 3 months. Wheelchair for a while, boot for a while. So my least favorite were getting Joan to the bathroom in the middle of the night a couple times.
Thanks, Joe.
And to find things in a woman's closet. She needs a designated blouse or a designated lingerie piece. No idea what I'm doing. So they have been my least favorite things. You better not break an ankle again.
We have officially become a very close-knit group.
Yeah, when they say TMI, my God, you know, you can't control this guy. The worst part is
telling the truth.
Blabbermouth, really.
No, it's your turn.
I'm not saying anything bad about him, though. He's a very private person. I used to be until he started talking. My least favorite thing is having him talk like that. But other than that, I'm not a phone person. I really don't like using the phone. But my most favorite thing has turned out to be calling people that I haven't talked to in a long time. So that's an enjoyable, but long delayed process. And I'm glad that I had the opportunity to call people.
Okay. All right. Alex, would you go next, please? And then Dr. Jeff, and then Oscar. Alex, you'll need to unmute. We're talking about household chores.
Yeah, so my favorite chore is definitely cooking. That's when I negotiate with Britt, that's like my task. So I cook most of our meals, if not all of them. And I've been trying a lot of new recipes since being in quarantine. My least favorite has got to be folding clothes. There's something about it. I don't mind unloading the dishwasher, doing really cleaning, vacuuming. I like shoveling snow too, like Kurt, but there's something about folding laundry that is mind-numbing. I hate it, but there you go.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, it's one of the things I enjoy. Thank you, Alex. Dr. Jeff.
Hey, guys. So I'm with you, Lisa. Vacuuming is my ultimate nightmare. It reminds me of when I was like 10, 12 years old, and my mother would wake me up at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning to vacuum the house. So never forgot that one. And
Yeah.
Kelly, when you're online, I'm the guy driving up, picking up my order, and then just putting it in my car, and then me driving off, because I won't stand on those lines.
All right. And did you have a favorite, Jeff? I'm not sure I caught your favorite chore.
Well, it was
you said laundry, right?
I do the grocery shopping online and then just pick it up at the store. I mean, I literally pull up, they throw it in the car, and I leave, because I don't want to wait on those lines.
Thank you, Jeff. Oscar, and then Marva, and Craig Satchel. We'll have to meet Craig in a minute or two. Oscar.
Yeah, so my favorite is doing paperwork. I find it very relaxing to fill out forms. And my least favorite is doing the dishes.
Okay, thank you, Oscar. Marva, nice to see you. I love your pink walls, Marva. You always brighten the Zoom group. We don't hear you yet, Marva. If you could unmute.
Marva, you'll have to hit the unmute button in your screen.
And then Craig, could we meet you? I don't see any video for Craig Satchel. Visiting Rotarian, or
Craig, I've been working with Craig feverishly. He's trying to get
on.
And
okay.
When he does, we can introduce him. He's a prospective member. He's the person who came to our meeting with the band. He's the band leader, the orchestra leader.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, jazz and the classical music and big band groups. put
Yeah.
together. So
Can you hear
he's
me
been
now?
sorely affected, as you can tell, as you might imagine, by the COVID. And I think it's just now
Sure.
booked some gigs, but he is downloading Chrome, and as we speak, hopefully we'll be able to see and hear him shortly.
Okay, well, I'm seeing two boxes that have his name, so something is connecting, but we don't see video yet. I'm sorry for the delay. Marva, you are back. It looks like you're unmuted and ready to tell us about your household chores.
Yes, I hate cleaning like everybody else. Love cooking.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Marva. And we've already heard from Hideko. And yeah, and Craig, can you hear us, Craig? And can we hear you? Not yet. All right, then. So thanks, everybody. We'll wrap up that getting to know each other session. I'll turn it back over to President Jay.
Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate it very much. And Craig, whenever you're unmuted and ready to go, just please interrupt me. So we want to move to committee announcements, and I know we have a couple slides to help us along with this.
It's coming up.
Okay. Yep. So while these slides are coming up, I know the first thing we want to address is on service committee, service items, and perhaps Joan and Patricia may want to chime in, and I can certainly do so too. This is a, go back to the other slide. Yeah, thank you. This is the developing situation. And yeah, should be the first one. Yep, perfect. Thank you. So first one is we want to explore a community service project working with the Rotary Club of Southwest Philadelphia. So Joan, do you want to make a few comments to start on this?
Sure. History. Our club chartered Southwest Rotary Club in 1989. One of our members, Carl Bailey, served as interim president of that club to get them up and running. They are our last, I guess, grandchild, or we're the parent club for this club, located in Southwest Philadelphia. And it's unfortunately a very violent area at this time. There's been a lot of activity there. There's been a lot of destruction. And for those of you who understand where the neighborhoods of Philadelphia, as you are coming from the airport and approaching Philadelphia, you look to your left. South Philadelphia is the first neighborhood in Philadelphia adjacent to that airport area. It's an area that's occupied 50-50 by African Americans and 50 and Africans, with very small retail sectors and then a large shopping center, most of which was seriously damaged during the last 3 or 4 weeks. We reached out to Southwest through Ken Myers from our happy hour group, who's looking for small business that we could help restore, and tried in Southwest Philadelphia, found out that they have a much larger vision than that. Their vision is to restore a dialogue, or maybe even create a dialogue, between the police and the residents of Southwest Philadelphia. They have a number of activities planned. One, and their most imminent, which they've already had agreement from the 12th Precinct Police Department, is to, number one, develop a basketball competition between an integrated group of policemen from District 12 and neighborhood kids at a local playground. So that is in the offing, and probably for July or August, and COVID restrictions allow that to happen. The second project that they're looking at is to make it more of a community day. Vicki Braylow from the Happy Hour group is a doctor, and she's volunteered her services to set up a blood pressure clinic on site at a community day event there that would also include even more sports than just basketball. And Ken Meyer and Jason Walker from the Happy Hour group are reaching out to the Eagles, the Sixers, and Union to see if they can get players coming to the community day in order to play games with the kids in that neighborhood. And then the third thing is they're talking about having a food event, and they have a local Wawa that was not damaged. So they approached the local Wawa to see if they will provide small snacks to bring people in. And then finally, they're looking for games and board games that they can distribute to kids to play during that community day. So it'll be well-rounded and well-attended. They have 6 members. They have a unique involvement with the police district, and who's already made some donations to support the basketball event. And so what we may be looking for is to provide them support as they ask us to do that, especially for finding board games for the kids, the number one thing. They are collecting donations for food, and they now have in their treasuries $500, looking for donations that by June 30th would allow them to distribute food to specific neighbors in that neighborhood. I'm laying out all these projects because we can talk with them if we want to, as a lunch group, to support some of the activities, just as the Happy Hour group would do. So that is a matter for discussion with Patricia, who sat in on our first conference call with 3 of the members of the Southwest Project and 3 of the members from the Happy Hour group. And we were, Joe, I myself and Patricia and Jay were present at that conference call as well. And on top of that, there's an inspector, police inspector, who oversees not only Police District 12, which is the Southwest Philadelphia Police District, 3 other districts in very impoverished neighborhoods, who just lost his second nephew to gun violence this weekend. And he's been working very closely with the Southwest neighborhood to try to inculcate trust in that neighborhood. And Joe had worked with him previously to, excuse me, Oscar, could you send Craig the Rotary ID, meeting ID?
There's no meeting ID.
Uh-oh, all right. Anyway, sorry.
Craig's lost in space.
Craig's lost. So Joe had worked with
Hey, Joan, this is Alex. I'll send an email over to Craig now. You can give him a heads up.
Great.
Thank you. Joe had worked previously with Inspector Wood because he felt that Inspector Wood is definitely a good candidate for a Rotary Peace Fellowship. And we learned just last week that the Rotary Peace Fellowship certificate program has changed. It's no longer 3 months on-site learning in Chulalongkorn University in Bangkok. It is 10 weeks on-site learning at either Chulalongkorn University in Bangkok or Makerere University in Uganda, and followed by 10 weeks of online learning and project management and reporting on their own project, followed by another 2 or 3 weeks of online classes, followed by a summary weekend on-site, a week on-site, to meet in person again with other Rotary Peace Fellows. So that being said, given the current situation, we are definitely reaching out again to Inspector Wood to see if he can manage this new requirement for the 3-month certificate program. If he does, and if he is accepted, that would give us not only Rotary Peace Fellows, DF PACE, Police Department, but also Lieutenant Lamont Adams, who is very much engaged with the Rotary Club of Southwest Philadelphia to work with. So we would have a unique relationship here with our Rotary Peace Fellows and the opportunity for them to use their skills in Southwest Philadelphia. Now that everybody's saying, what did she say? Because I went fast and there's a lot to digest. I don't know if you have any questions or like to suggest a way to go forward.
Yeah, basically the overseas commitment for a certificate program Peace Fellow is about the same. But what Rotary has done is made a link to when you get back, you're going to have to be in online communication so that they're able to see that something came out of your experience overseas and share that with other Peace Fellows. So it's really a smart move. They're just going to have a 10-month period of sharing and reporting back to Rotary International about this is what this experience meant as a Peace Fellow. So it really makes a lot of sense.
And the Southwest projects are there. They're determined to see them through. It's just a question of where we can fit into that. Should we want to augment even more the offers being made by Ken and Jason to reach the sports teams, by Vicky to provide some medical tests or services at their community event. And on an even better note, Vicky, if she's asked, would reach out to the Black Doctors Initiative, who is providing COVID testing in these neighborhoods, to see if they would be able to bring their equipment to the Southwest Rotary Community Day. A lot of good things there. It's a question of how we can take advantage of it, should we want to.
Okay, Patricia, do you want to add anything to that, or maybe people can contact you and Joan on this, or what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I was really impressed with the organisation and all the things that the Southwest Rotary Club are doing, and I think it very much aligns with some of the things that we want to try and achieve as well. And I think there would be good synergies there. We just have to get a sense of people's appetite for participating in outdoor events at the moment, and we just need to work out whether we need to wait until sort of July, August, just because COVID is a bit crazy. And so I just had a look at Gmail. I can't use voting buttons from Gmail, but I might send an email, or maybe there's voting buttons in Pmail. Anyway, we'll somehow just send an email to you all just to get a temperature check of how soon that you would be prepared to participate in some kind of outdoor activity. And once we get a sense of the numbers, then we, and the kinds of activities we could participate in, we'll be able to move forward with some sort of joint initiative.
Our role might be very limited in that capacity, just because, well, possibly our role could be limited to funding. It could be limited to having our members collect board games and books to give out to kids at that community day. It's that's an evolving topic, what our presence on site would be based on the temperature of the community, for one thing, and for as Tricia said, for individuals in our own club who may not want to participate in an outdoor activity. So it could very well be that Southwest has the on-site presence covered, but they may need support in that, providing supplies and materials for the community day. And that would include, for example, if Wawa is able to donate X number of sandwiches, hoagies, whatever, but because they're a small Wawa, falls short of the goal, because Southwest Philly is a 501c3, we could donate directly to them to expand that food project if that all unfolds. Certainly, it's in the clouds right now, and it may become much more real, and it won't happen until at least July or August. Just putting that in your ear. Our support may be more remote and may be fund driven and or collecting board games and books to ship over to Southwest to distribute on that day or after that.
All right, thank you very much for, that's a lot to digest, but we'll give everyone a chance. Rosanna?
I wanted to share something. I wanted to share something. I was called last week to participate in a drive from the Pyramid Club this coming 25th. They're having everybody meet at a coffee shop downtown in Center City, and they're going to be going to different businesses, walking a group from the Pyramid Club and giving thanks to businesses in Center City and hoping well wishes for everybody, you know, for the reopening of Philly. And I was just wondering, you know, if we ever needed to gather books or help an organization, if we ever wanted to get businesses to participate with us and help us in Center City, maybe meeting downtown at a coffee shop like the Pyramid Club is doing, and then walking with, you know, just like a little pamphlet or little cards, you know, saying we are doing this drive. If you want to help us with, you know, books or games or whatever for this event that we're doing, you know, maybe people would get a sense also of, you know, Philadelphia Rotary, if they ever want to join us and if they want to help us in an event that we're doing.
Great. It's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll move to the next topic. Briefly, I know there's a fundraising event that's in the planning, so I don't know whether, Kelly, you want to make a comment on that?
Yeah, thanks, Jay. So as you see here, we are planning a virtual bingo night, and that will be a Zoom event. We're going to schedule it for Friday, July 24th at 7 o'clock. Oscar and Jay and I had been talking and planning, and then Sandy and Lisa gave us really good feedback when listening to our initial plans. Specifically, the host will be none other than former Rotary Club member Scott Grandy, who has graciously agreed to be the ball caller, or just the caller, I guess. And we're going to do a trial run soon with a few members who kindly agreed to be test dummies, if you will. Maybe that's not the best word. We're going to try to work out all the kinks that we do expect, because some of us have never done this before. Oscar's great, you know, he knows everything about Zoom and he's the king there, but we've never played online bingo, he and I. So some of the members have, and Sandy again has had a really good experience and helped us shape our program that we're still building. We want to charge modest fees, 2 cards for $25, 4 cards for $50, and people will be invited to spend more if they wish, because the proceeds will go to benefiting what's called the Community Center at Visitation, we hope. We've reached out to them. We had previously contacted the LaGuardia Academy, and they are not currently doing their food bank right now, or their pantry. So we investigated some other local food banks to stay with this as our mission. And there you have it. Oscar can fill in some details about that particular nonprofit, which has a pantry open every week, I believe. We're going to have prizes. It's going to be fun. We decided, thanks to Sandy and Lisa, our panelists, giving the feedback, that like we originally had it a 7 to 10 p.m. We just, that's insane. Now we understand. It's going to be about an hour of gaming and maybe 15, 20 minutes of fun. So we're going to schedule it from 7 to 8:30. We hope to see as many of you as possible. We're going to promote it elsewhere throughout, I believe, the district and to our other networks and circles. And we're going to hopefully get some sponsors, literally asking if some grocery stores, for example, would like to pony up modest donations so that we can raise money for the food bank. And Jay has kindly, graciously offered to complete a grant application for this effort that would supplement some of what we raise. Would Jay or Oscar care to add anything, or anyone else?
I'm all good from my side.
Yeah, I'm all good. The only thing is, let me know if they're a 501c3, Oscar.
Will do.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
their website says that they are.
Okay, then that's good. Perfect. All right.
Love to see you all there. Thank you. More info soon about how to register.
Thank you so much. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it, and we need it. We need fun. The next last thing on committee announcements is on youth service. I guess I'll start it, and Joe, if you have any comments. We made a lot of strides this year in terms of reconnecting with our Rotary Club at the University of Pennsylvania. It's a great young woman who's running that. We also, Joe reconnected with West Catholic Interact Club, and we started a new Interact Club at Liguori Academy. Downside, the COVID-19 kind of put the brakes on a lot of things. The schools were not meeting physically, but we laid the groundwork, and I think in summary, we're going to restart them in the fall. Hopefully schools will be back physically. We have a liaison for Liguori Academy. Oscar's been doing a great job to stay in touch with them. We could use, if anyone's available, to help be a liaison to West Catholic and also to the Rotary Club at Penn. One of the things we want to do is periodically bring them to the meetings and provide an update on what they're doing. So, Joe, is there anything quickly you want to add to that?
Yeah, I will be visiting the University of Pennsylvania, assuming that they get up and running, and I'll find the leaders of our Rotary Club, and that would be a nice opportunity if someone is interested in being our contact person liaison to just let Jay know, and then you could go with me and meet the kids and see what you think. It's a really simple thing. You're just going to be the contact person and be able to tell the club periodically, here's what the Penn Rotaract has been doing, and invite them to a meeting once in a while to see us in person. As far as the high school programs, I'm just delighted with what Oscar has done at Liguori. I'm very confident that that's going to be an outstanding program in the year ahead. Interesting, first graduation, it's a brand new school. And the speech to the kids was to, in your future life, be there for people. Well, that sounds familiar. It sounds like a Rotary motto. It's a beautiful motto. West Catholic, I will be visiting there and try to re-up that one again. If you would think you might want to be the contact to a high school group of kids, let Jay know, and then you'll be going with me. These won't be happening until August, so you can give this some thought. The comment on West Catholic is I really want to keep that relationship there. If you don't know their history, they were pretty much abandoned by the Archdiocese of Philadelphia and set for closure. And somebody gave them $1 million and said stayed open. So they did. They are now a prep school. And this last class, 100%. Now these are kids of color from some of the poorest neighborhoods in Philadelphia. They have a 100% acceptance rate at universities. 100% of the kids are going to college or university. And they've netted $24 million in scholarships. So we want to keep our relationship with that place if it's at all possible. So think about it. I'm looking for somebody who would become the contact. Jay's looking for somebody who would become the contact person at Penn and somebody who would be the contact person at West Catholic. I'll be visiting both places in probably late August and try to get everything rejuvenated.
Great.
Just so you know, we are, I think some people are aware of this, there is a global grant scholar coming from Belgium to Philadelphia in January. He's going to be here for a whole year beginning in January. His name is Sander Vogt, and he will be in the law school at Penn. And we'll be bringing him to meetings. It's another youth issue. A young man will be living here for a year. Opportunities to invite him over for dinner, take him to something, show him a movie, whatever. But that'll be another youth project as well. Coming in January, Sander Vogt from Belgium.
Great. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Before we move on, I want to welcome Craig Satchel. Hi.
Thank you. Can you hear
Oh, my
me?
goodness.
We can.
Okay, great. Okay. A lot of problems getting on. I don't know, something with my phone.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Happy to be here.
Well, welcome. It's really glad to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Could I
Okay.
ask, Jay, if I could?
Yeah, sure.
Craig Jobatori here. I was explaining while you were trying to get online that your unique vocation, perhaps you could bring us up to date on what's happening with you.
Well, let's see. Not a lot. Getting unemployment, which has been a big help. I've had a lot of weddings, a lot of events rescheduled for next year, later in the year, canceled. People are not comfortable booking any entertainment right now. So it's been the slowest year I've probably had since I was, who knows when, 24 years old or so. But, you know, it is what it is, and we'll get there.
Right. Thank you,
So,
Craig.
Yeah.
Great. All right. We want to move on. You know, our club is 119 years old, I think, if I did the math correct. And this is the first time that I'm aware of, certainly, that our club will be doing the induction of the new officers for the new Rotary year virtually. So we'll do the best we can. We're looking forward to this. And before we get to that, and just to mention, you know, we have a few non-Rotarians. Every club around the world has some similar changeover of leadership each year. And so this happens all around the world. So it's kind of an interesting process. So I thought it would be really good, before we get to that and talk about next year, is really take a few minutes and look at this past year and what you all accomplished. And with that, we put a little video together. I hope you enjoy it.
There we go.
Thank you. Congratulations,
Wow, that was
everyone.
awesome.
Appreciate it.
Very good.
So,
Beautifully done, Jay.
well, thank you. I'm sorry, you know, it's translating through Zoom and sound level and quality is not as good, but we have it in a video form. We'll post it on our YouTube page.
Great.
So feel free to share this once it's up. Either Oscar or I will put it up there. I think all of you should be very proud of what the club accomplished, particularly in a unusual and difficult year. And that, thank you. That brings me to the next point. We really appreciate what everyone has done. And, you know, one of the things that I want to say, I don't remember any member saying no to me. I think, I can't think of one. If somebody did, I don't remember. Every time I reached out and said, can you help me with this? Everyone did. And I really appreciate that very much. So I want to recognize some of the key people that really helped this year. And I'm going to go in alphabetical order because it's easier for me. First, Rosanna and Chando. I have so much to be thankful for you joining our club. I don't know how we found you, but we're certainly glad that you came our way. Did a great job, does a great job on our membership committee, is very welcoming and warm and everything. And she also opened up her home for the filming of our video. We literally took over her apartment for a whole day, a long day. And she had food out for us and everything, which was so welcoming. So thank you, Rosanna, for your work. Thank you. Next is Oscar. Again, another person who I'm so glad that he joined our club. When the pandemic first hit, and I guess I was starting to realize that this was not something that's going to go away in a few days, which is what I originally thought, or a few weeks. He offered his Zoom account to help put these meetings together. And more than that, he has been helping in terms of organizing. I am not the most tech savvy person, and he is, and he's been very helpful there. And he's helping with this fundraising. He's helping with, I actually don't know a committee he's not been helping on. So maybe there's more than one Oscar and I don't know it, but we appreciate everything that you're doing for us, Oscar. Thank you. Next on the list is Joan Vittori. She agreed to chair our membership committee this year. She's been doing it a long time. It's a lot of work. I've learned a lot from her this year in terms of what all is behind doing the membership. It's development. It's not only cultivating people, but there are a lot of mechanical things behind the scenes that has to happen. And she is definitely one of the other people that never said no to me. Anytime I needed help, she was there for me. And I greatly appreciate that so much. Your knowledge of Rotary is incredibly valuable to our club.
Hold on, I'm on a meeting.
Thank you so much. Next is Joe Vittori. I asked can we reinvigorate our youth clubs, and we kind of lost touch with them. And no hesitation, again, yep, I'll do it. And he quickly made the arrangements, and before I knew it, we were meeting at Penn with the Rotary Club, and then we were meeting with the New Interact Club folks at LaGuardia Academy. Again, I thank you so much for your help this year. Joe is also the one, too, that when I was trying to think about whether I would take this position this past year, earlier on, I didn't decide. He's just like, why not? You'll have people. It'll be easy. It's not that bad. People will help you. And I was a little skeptical, but, Joe, you were right. People really did help. Thank you. Jeff Cabot has been chairing the hospitality committee for quite some time. Relied heavily on his work this year, and he's done a great job. Always reliable, always there, always helping to welcome people and take care of the attendance and things like that. And I got to tell you, we had a really busy meeting last August when Derek Pitts was here, and I don't know how he kept track of everyone coming, because we had 50 people there, half of which weren't even members. And it was groups of kids coming in. And, you know, I thought we were certainly going to foul this up. And I checked a couple days later, and he got everything exactly right. So thank you, Jeff, for your work. Really appreciate it. Next, Patricia Ellard. She is our service chair this past year. Again, agreed to do it. And this was an amazingly organized year for service. You could see in the video that you just saw that how much work that we did. She helped coordinate the Mandela Fellows coming to our club last August when I was just trying to figure out what the heck I was doing. But Patricia, thank you so much. You did a great job with service this year. And you're part of the reason that our club will be up for a Rotary citation with presidential distinction. So thank you so much for your help. Kelly Fang, thank you so much for what you've done too this year in fundraising. I know you were a little skeptical at the beginning, like what are we going to do and all of that. We had a lot of calls about what we want to do. We had a really successful painting event. You and Sandy did a great job in making that happen, and we had a lot of fun and raised money for a really good cause. And I know that you guys are doing a great job working on our upcoming event. We had another event planned, I know, the bowling event, but that had to be postponed to another time. But thank you for all of your work that you do. Thanks. Dave Gill, thank you for being our treasurer. He's been doing this now for, I think, 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. It's a long time. This is a job that's not always appreciated by everyone because it's sort of behind the scenes, and it's sometimes jobs that people don't want to do. 10 years, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. I'm only off by half or something like that. Thank you, Dave, for reminding me of that. But 10 years is an amazing amount of time. And I know we want to pass the baton soon on that to someone else, but thank you for this past year of doing the work of the treasurer. It's greatly appreciated and extremely important to the club. Next is Sandy Goldberg. Thank you for helping with everything, but particularly with the fundraising. I know you put a lot of work in that with Kelly. People who don't do events don't realize how much behind the scenes work is done in an event. They just know it's fun and it's great and it's all good, but don't know how much work is behind that. I know you brought a lot of people to the event and helped make it better, and thank you for your work there. Marva Hay. This is an amazing woman. Despite dealing with, I know, some very, rehabilitating from your back surgery, continue to work on bringing great programs to the club this past year, and has graciously agreed to do that again next year. And it's so integral to the club's experience of what you do. And I know this has been more difficult since the pandemic, having to reschedule and schedule and then reschedule again and back and forth. So thank you so much for what you've done for us this past year.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Some of our board members, Jason Jones, I know he is here on the call. Thank you so much for your continued service with the club on the board. And also, again, a job that's not always appreciated, helping to review some of the legal documents at no cost to us, to the club. And he's just reviewed another document for the Pyramid Club for us. Thank you again for your guidance in the board of directors this past year. Akira Kaji, Sergeant at Arms, probably at least 10 years, maybe longer. And making sure that, I guess that no one gets out of order in the club. You'll wrestle them to the ground to make sure that we maintain order behind the scenes. So Akira, thank you for your continued service and service on the board. I don't think he's ever missed a board meeting. Next, Chris Coffer. Thank you for your service on the board, continued service. Again, another individual who is a guiding light on our board and providing great advice for us as we move forward, and has agreed to continue on next year. Thank you, Chris, for your service. Lisa Leonard. I don't think I can say enough good about her, but she has been immensely helpful in so many things. She's chair of our public image committee and has been immensely helpful in many ways, and particularly helping to edit and put together our video, which we have one already and we're in the process of finishing the other. So Lisa, thank you so much. Alex Snayman, what can I say, Alex? You stepped up to the plate. It's been great knowing Alex and getting to know him more as time goes on, and he's done a great job of club secretary for the past several years and is graciously agreed to continue next year. And as you'll find out soon, as president-elect, he's done a really good job in continuing to improve the communications to the club members, which is really important. Thank you, Alex. Kurt Strummel. Kurt, I don't know what to say other than thank you for all your support in the transition this past year. I think we've been constantly texting each other, phone calls, so on and so forth, back and forth about various issues. And continue on the board, chair of the nominations committee, and president of the Rotary Club of Philadelphia Foundation too. So thank you again for your service this past year. Thank you. So I think that's all for today that's on the call in terms of our awards. Thank you. Okay. We want to move on to our next topic. I'm going to, in the future, talk about our Rotary citation. For sake of time, I'm going to skip that today, and we're going to move right to the installation of our officers and directors, again, for the first time virtually. And I've asked one of our former club presidents to do the honors, and I want to introduce Lisa Leonard formally to do this. Lisa Leonard joined Rotary in 1998 after having an enriching experience in South Korea as a member of the Rotary Group Study Exchange. She started with a club in New Jersey and thankfully moved to Philadelphia Club, where she served as president of our club from 2015 to 2016. Her favorite Rotary moments have involved club service projects and Rotary Friends, co-chairs in the 7450s District Conference back in 2010, and leading our district's GSC team in Greece. I remember that. Lisa currently has served as assistant governor and works on our club's public image committee next year, now and going into next year. As a professional voiceover artist, Lisa records commercials, narrations, phone messages, and event announcements for clients around the world. So if we could give a nice warm welcome to Lisa.
Thank you very much for the honor of this. This is just such a a wonderful event every year because we get to thank our past leadership and we get to welcome and officially install those who are going to guide us into our next Rotary year. So with that, I would like to begin, focus on you, Jay Pennie. Jay, you have been selected by the members of this Rotary Club to guide its affairs during the coming year. You have again been entrusted with an important responsibility that will shape our club's future. So, incoming President Jay, you have been elected to the office of President again, the Rotary Club of Philadelphia, by our members. It is an expression of our confidence in your continued leadership. So now get ready to take the oath. We'll take this in little chunks so you could repeat after me. I, Jay Pennie,
I, Jay Pennie,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the Rotary Club of Philadelphia,
the office of President of Rotary Club of Philadelphia,
and that I will, to the best of my ability,
and I will, to the best of my ability,
give support and assistance
give support and assistance
to the District Governor and to Rotary International,
to the District Governor and Rotary International,
and that I will uphold the Constitution and bylaws of this club.
and I will
Uphold the Constitution.
uphold the, thank you, the Constitution and bylaws of our club.
Great, thank you very much, Jay Pennie. And now to the incoming officers and directors. So we're looking at Alex, Rosanna, Dave Gill, Akira, Jeff Cabot, Jason Jones, Chris Coffer, George, Kurt, and Jason Walker. Now for you, the incoming officers and directors, you've been elected to the important positions in the administration of the Rotary Club of Philadelphia. This is an indication of your fellow Rotarians' esteem and confidence in all of you. We also believe that you will uphold the high traditions of our club and that you will give the best of your executive ability to the furtherance of the interest of our club and the carrying forward of the object of Rotary. Will you fulfill the responsibilities of your offices to the best of your ability and in accordance with the Constitution and bylaws of this club? The response is, we will. Will you?
We will.
I will.
We will.
Well, then I hereby declare the new officers and director installed and give President Jay a virtual gavel as the symbol of the transfer of the administration of this club. To the outgoing officers and directors, through you are retiring from administration of our club, your continued active involvement is extremely important and highly encouraged. We know you're going to stay connected, and we are so grateful for having this wonderful club. So I want to congratulate all of you and thank our past leaders, and let's give a warm round of applause to our incoming leaders to take us through the 2021 Rotary year at the Rotary Club of Philadelphia. Thanks,
Yay.
everybody, and congratulations.
All right, thanks, Lisa. All right, I would like to say a few words about next year. I'm sorry we're running a little bit over time. We'll try to go quickly. I'm honored to serve as your club president again next year. And with Father's Day approaching this weekend, I'm devoting my talk to my late father, and here's why. I grew up in a working class neighborhood in Philadelphia, the youngest of 6 children. By any measure, my family was poor, and in fact, my parents did not own a house, a car, or many possessions. For a time, 6 children and 2 adults lived in one row house with 3 bedrooms and 1 tiny bathroom. Do the math. However, my parents provided everything a child really needs: food, shelter, fun, discipline, and of course, love. Among the attributes that my father possessed, which has had a profound impact on me, was his strong work ethic and sense of volunteerism. Though he worked tirelessly every day at a printing company for more than 45 years, he actively helped my mother raise a family of 6, from changing diapers to washing dishes. Yet he still found the time and energy to devote to volunteer at our church 3 times a week and regularly help feed the homeless at a mission house in Center City, Philadelphia. Until my early 30s, my motto was more the reverse of Rotary's: self before service. I prioritize money, career, and enjoyment as number one. But by my late 30s, I felt something was missing. That's also the point when I decided to leave the for-profit sector for the nonprofit world. Although my father passed away many years before, I think his influence was already imprinted on me. My first introduction to Rotary came from one of our former members, Limar Brock, who was a bit of a legend in Rotary and a character. And I actually think of him today as we're inducting the members. I remember well his elaborate ceremonies as we inducted our new officers. After a few weeks of attending meetings as his guest, he asked me to join the club. Limar is a great salesman. He's hard to say no to, so I joined in August 2010. What impressed me most was everyone in the lunch meeting, as it still stands today, were friendly, smart, accomplished, generous. One member, Sandy Goldberg, asked me right away to join her fundraising committee, and that was a big help to me. But I have to say, I had no idea what I was doing. In addition to volunteering for Rotary, I'm a panelist at the grant reviewer for the Philadelphia Cultural Fund, the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts, and a visiting evaluator for the National Association of Schools of Art and Design. So I do keep busy. The theme for the new Rotary year is Rotary Opens Opportunities. For me, that means an opportunity to lead, serve, and help our community both here and around the world. When I was first asked last year if I would consider serving as president, like everyone, I tried to anticipate what challenges I might run into. But I can tell you I never planned on a global pandemic, economic cratering, and international social unrest.
Mhm.
But like most people, I concluded the pandemic did not cause these issues. It simply shined a light on the problems that were already there. Philadelphia has the highest poverty rate of any large city in the US at 26% compared to the national average of 16%. Or if you do the math, it's over 400,000 residents. Poverty is linked to many other problems too: unequal access to education, increased homelessness, poor diet, inadequate health care, hunger, neighborhood violence, mass incarceration, to name a few.
Mhm.
At the same time, Philadelphia has tremendous wealth concentrated in certain areas like Center City, Philadelphia, and the main line areas. These local issues, to me, create a tremendous need in which Rotary Club of Philadelphia can continue to help and perhaps help more. We could use 100 Rotary clubs right here in the area just to put a dent in the problem. We are actively working on challenges in our own club. We surveyed the membership last year to obtain a candid opinion of the club's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Our strengths and opportunities are many, but we also have to evaluate our weaknesses and potential threats to better plan for the future and position ourselves so we can maximize our impact into the community. We need to plan further out than just 1 year, and we need to think both tactically and strategically. So my vision for the upcoming year has to be our vision. Otherwise, it will go nowhere. Our club's vision statement reads, "The Rotary Club of Philadelphia focuses its outreach on those in need and those less fortunate, primarily in its community and also via international activity. Our goal is to be one of the Greater Philadelphia's most active humanitarian organization that improves lives." But how do we realize this vision? I have 5 ideas, and they should sound familiar to you. 1, we need to continue to develop and implement service projects that actively engage the membership and our community while enhancing and spreading the mission of the club. We may need a signature project. I don't know. We're working on this. And that brings us to the next point. We need to tell people about what we're doing. We need to enlist the members to enhance our public image, to share what we're doing. We all need to do a better job of this. And this is not just the responsibility of the Public Image Committee. We're trying to provide tools to make it easier, but it's up to the members to share it. To do this, we need to invest time and money also in digital media efforts. 3, we need to engage our current and prospective members to come to Rotary for fellowship and togetherness, both at our meetings and our events. 4, we need to develop a culture and process for attracting future high-quality leadership to the club. We need to do a better job of training and cultivating future leadership, but I'm recently optimistic about this because we already have some fresh leadership that has stepped up to the plate, and we're looking forward to Alex and Rosanna's leadership in the future years. And I think if we do those 4 things, number 5 will happen. And that is, we need to establish a growing and sustainable group of highly engaged members who are representative of our diverse community and are passionate about our mission and vision. We've made some strides this past year, but we still have a way to go. Finally, I promised last year that I would be a uniter, not a divider, and I hope I have upheld that. I will continue to make mistakes, and I'm sure some of you will guide me along the way. I'm blessed with a tremendous board of directors and committee chairs that continue to help and make good things happen. I need every member to serve on a committee next year, no exceptions. We all have to work together as Rotarians to pitch in because our community needs us. Now is our time. I mentioned earlier today, I've asked for help from so many people, but what is so remarkable is no one has said no. And for that, I'll be forever grateful. My one overall goal as club president for next year is that when I come to the end of our term, my term rather, that our club will be a little bit stronger than it was when I started. And with your help, I know we can achieve this. Rotary's founder, Paul Harris, said, whatever Rotary may mean to us, to the world, it will be known by the results it achieves. Let's work together to achieve some results again this coming year. Thank you all for your continued service and your confidence in me as club president. Thank you. Okay. Sorry we ran a little long, and I want to just wind up our meeting. And I do have a call for happy hour, happy dollars. Are there any happy dollars?
I have some happy dollars.
I have a happy dollar for another year of Jay
Thank you.
as our club leader.
Thank you.
I have 10 happy dollars. Woo! I have 5 happy dollars. I call the month of June is the month of Kurt. So it was my birthday on June 9th. I just had my 30th wedding anniversary on June 16th. And Father's Day is coming up. So I love June. And it's all about me. So that's 3. And then happy dollar to my daughter, who just finished another year of teaching 4th grade. And it ended differently than it started, for sure, virtually. But she did a great job, and I'm proud of her. And her fiance, Richie, they had to put off their wedding for another year. But he just started his residency program at St. Christopher's Hospital yesterday. So that's 5. And then I have 5 happy dollars for the past year of Jay's leadership. Jay, I'm in awe of you. I admire you, I respect you, and I applaud you for everything you've done for this club for the past year. And I'm looking forward to the next year, and I thank you for doing that, stepping up again.
Thank you for your kind words.
You're welcome.
I also have $10 for Jay. This has been a very hard year, a very different year. And I believe that one of the best attributes that a leader can have is to unite everybody. and you have. Everybody, I feel, is more united. Everybody loves to come to these meetings and share and help. And, that shows, you can lead the club into a better future, even in a difficult year.
Thank you, Rosanna. It's very kind. All right. Any others? Okay. Upcoming meetings. Next week, we are meeting again. And I'm very happy to say that Kurt will be hosting the meeting because we have many of our grantees that were awarded grant recently from our foundation attending our meeting. Kurt, how many people do we have so far?
I believe we're 8 or 9. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, it's going to be
So
great.
that will be our focus that day. So this is a good time to invite friends, prospective members to join us. It'll be a really fun and interesting meeting.
Yeah, for the members that have been around for a few years, Joe Pennie started this a few years ago. I think 3 years ago now. Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, but where we did a meeting in June and invited a number of the grant recipients to our meeting, and it was a great success when it happened. In person, it was a great success. Great energy in the room that day. I'll never forget it. It was one of the best meetings I think we ever had at the Union League that day, and hopefully we'll try to replicate that as best we can virtually.
Lisa sent a note about for next week. Yeah, I think we can have a section. I think there'll be enough time. There's no speaker.
Okay, will the grant recipients be speaking about their organizations and what they're doing with the money?
Right.
Hearing from them?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the 25th.
Yes, next week.
Next week, okay.
Yep. Yep.
And even with those presentations, we will have enough time for a you question at the beginning?
I think so. We'll keep it to like 5 minutes each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great. All right. Is there anything else for today's meeting? Then thank you. Thank you for staying on a little longer. We really appreciate everything you did this past year. You all have a lot to celebrate for what you've done. And please share the video once it's up on YouTube. And congratulations to Alex and Rosanna and the rest of the board of directors and officers.
Thank you.
We are adjourned. Thank you.